Hey guys, Martin here for Mattress Clarity. So it seems like these days everyone's getting into the weighted blanket business. Mattress companies such as Purple, Layla, and now even Casper are making their own version of a weighted blanket. Now, as a fan of Casper's products such as their mattresses and their pillows, and a common user of a weighted blanket, I was really interested to see how the Casper weighted blanket would stack up. So I want to look at my experience, its design, who it's a good fit for and who it's not a good fit for. Is it the right fit for you? Let's find out. First off, if you want to see a list of my top picks for weighted blankets, just head over to mattressclarity.com to see our best weighted blanket video and full article. There you can read about some great sleep research regarding weighted blankets, also some reviews on mattresses, pillows, and bedding. But let's talk about the Casper here. So first off, in terms of size options, you have three. You have 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and 20 pounds. Now, usually with most companies, they recommend finding a weighted blanket close to 10% of your body weight, and Casper is no different. Now they say though, if you divide your body weight by 10, and it's like, let's say for instance, you are 120 pounds, you divide it by 10, and that would be a 12-pound weighted blanket. Well, they don't have a 12-pound weighted blanket. They say go a little bit heavier for that 15 pounds. Now, I am 250 pounds. I divide my weight by 10, 25 pounds, so 20 is their heaviest option here. Definitely not as heavy as I would usually like, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Now, in terms of size options, you have one that is 50 inches by 70 inches. That is a throw size, made more to fit the size of your body, not the size of your bed. Now, looking at the blanket itself from the outside and then working our way in, first on the outside is going to be a shell made of 100% cotton, a very breathable material. They actually said this is meant to make it more breathable, not sleep quite so hot, a major issue with a lot of weighted blankets. Now it has a rectangular design here, so usually on most weighted blankets you have more of like a square. These are longer rectangles. They say it's based on more performance wear, that kind of design. It's supposed to kind of hug your body, and again, I'll get into that a little bit later when I talk about my experience. Now, the main thing with weighted blanket you want to think about is what is inside, and they actually use glass micro beads. So it's going to give this its weight. There's also some polyester batting to give it a little bit of fluff as well. Now, in terms of care, you can't wash or dry it at home, but you can spot clean. And now let's talk about my experience with the Casper weighted blanket. Now, first off, in terms of weight, you have three options: 10, 15 pounds, and 20 pounds, like I said. Now, I usually like something on the heavier side. Being 250 pounds, I usually go for a 25-pound weighted blanket, sometimes even a 30-pound weighted blanket. So right off the bat, I'm not getting quite as much weight as I usually am used to. Then we have the size. Now, I am a big fan of the size of this weighted blanket. 50 inches by 70 inches. Whether you get the 10 pound, the 15 pound, or the 20 pound, they're all gonna be the same throw size. Now, what's great about this kind of size is it kind of hugs your body. It's made to fit the size of your body, not the size of your bed. And I usually recommend getting that for anybody who's looking for a weighted blanket. So a very, very nice size. Now, in terms of weight distribution, the Casper has some of the best weight distribution I have ever experienced with a weighted blanket. And I think that comes from this rectangular gridding, not a square gridding like you find with other weighted blankets. It definitely hugs my body in a very interesting way, and as Casper said, it's based off of performance wear that you get with like a performance coat. Definitely has this very interesting feel, a very even weight across my entire body. Now, temperature is a major thing to think about when you're looking for a weighted blanket, because a lot of weighted blankets, especially on the heavier side, they are going to make you sleep hot. I didn't have this experience though with the Casper. This outer shell, this cotton outer shell is very, very breathable. I definitely felt some good airflow. I wouldn't say I was sleeping cold, but I definitely wasn't overheating too much with the Casper. So keeping that all in mind, how did the Casper work for me as a weighted blanket? Well, with a decent amount of weight, with 20 pounds, a really good narrow design, a good weight distribution, and not sleeping too hot, it worked very well for me. Taking a nap underneath the Casper was very, very nice. I fell asleep very quickly, didn't move whatsoever while I was sleeping, and woke up feeling nice and refreshed and with some pretty low anxiety as well. Now let's talk about the pros of who I think the Casper weighted blanket might be a good fit for. First off, I think it is a great option for hot sleepers. A lot of people overheat with weighted blankets. I did not have this experience whatsoever with the Casper. A very breathable outer shell, so nice airflow. I wasn't sleeping too hot with the Casper. I think it's also a good option for people who want something with a narrower design, more of a throw design. Some weighted blankets are a lot wider, they kind of fit the size of the bed, so you're not getting nice concentrated weight. You are getting concentrated weight though with the Casper. So I love the throw design, very good for being on your bed or on a couch. And then last but not least, I am a big fan of the weight distribution with the Casper. So if you want a weighted blanket that has even weight across your entire body, no dead spots, no spots that are heavier than others, definitely take a look at the Casper. And now let's talk about the cons, or who I think the Casper might not be the best fit for. First off, I think if you're a much larger person, like over 220, over 250 pounds, even heavier than that, you might not get enough weight with the Casper weighted blanket. Again, 20 pounds is their heaviest option, so even that might be a little bit too light for someone of your weight. Also, if you want a weighted blanket that comes in many size and weight options, you're not going to find those possibly with the Casper. You only have 3 weight options: 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and 20 pounds, and only 1 size option. And then last but not least, just speaking about price, right now at full price for the 20 pound, it's almost $190. I think it's a very good deal when you consider what you're getting, but there are definitely more affordable weighted blankets out there on the market. Now I want to answer some frequently asked questions about the Casper weighted blanket. The first question is, what are the benefits of a weighted blanket like the Casper? And there are many benefits. With a weighted blanket, what you're getting is something called deep tissue pressure. When you're underneath that weighted blanket, it's applying pressure to your entire body. And when that happens, it's actually going to increase your serotonin levels and your dopamine levels, making you feel more feelings of well-being. It's also going to decrease your cortisol levels, which are associated with stress. Studies have shown that it's easier to fall asleep with a weighted blanket and wake up with fewer feelings of stress and anxiety. Now the second question is, how heavy should your Casper weighted blanket be? Now Casper says you should find a weighted blanket close to 10% of your body weight. So let's say you're 120 pounds. Divide that by 10, it's a 12-pound weighted blanket. Now, since they only have a 10-pound and a 15-pound and a 20-pound, they say to actually go up to the next heavier size. So if you're 120 pounds, go for a 15-pound weighted blanket. The last question is, will the Casper weighted blanket make you sleep hot? And in my experience, it did not make me sleep hot. Most weighted blankets are going to add a little bit of warmth to your sleeping situation, but I did not get too much extra warmth with the Casper. I think that's because it has a very nice breathable outer shell, allowing for some good airflow, so I'm not overheating, and I think most people should have the similar experience. In the end, I think the Casper is a very effective weighted blanket. I think it is a particularly good match for hot sleepers and those who want something with more of a narrow design. I will say though that heavier people and those who want more size options and weight options might want to look elsewhere. Also, if you're not sure it's the right choice for you, they do have a 100-night risk-free trial and a 1-year limited warranty. But that's about it. If you're just getting started looking for a mattress, pillows, or bedding products, you can definitely head over to mattressclarity.com. We also do a lot of videos just like this. Hit the like button and subscribe.